Welcome, friends of all designs, to FMVGames.
Got kind of like a Galaxy Quest kind of thing going.
No, I was just going for a chant sort of thing.
Welcome to our show.
Yeah. Pierre Ezra Domine is Requiem.
Show.
Slap.
Yes. How you going, man?
I'm pretty good. I am your host Paul, and joining today is my beautiful friend James.
Hello, everyone.
And my bodacious friend Anais.
Hello.
The extra silent Paul. You could...
Yeah. Now I have a question.
Yes.
Anais, are you okay? Are you okay, Anais?
Yes, I'm
Good.
okay.
You know that song is actually a terrible song about a home invasion and assault on a woman.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I always think that now.
And then
Oh, no.
then the ambulance comes and the Annie, are you okay? Is about checking for consciousness.
Oh, it's sad now.
Yeah, it's
Well,
not-
way to set the tone of the show.
The
Yeah.
smooth criminal is potentially a sex offender. So
Ruining
Alien
it for
Ant
everyone.
Farm, terrible. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having
For
me.
the people at home, who are you and what do you do?
I'm Anais. I am marketing coordinator at Sponge Games, which is a new Brisbane indie game studio.
And you recently launched, actually the same time our show launched, your game, which I always keep forgetting, sorry.
It's called Cartoon Survivor, so it's on iOS and Android.
I know, it's like I did the same thing with our friends Assault Android Cactus,
Yeah.
which I sometimes
It
put
took us
Android Assault
years.
Cactus.
Yeah,
It took us
everyone
years
does.
Cactus
To get that
Assault,
name down.
Where I know generally what the words are, but just not
Wrong
necessarily
order.
the order.
Even the reviewers do it wrong, I think.
Yeah. I do it with our very own channels. Sometimes it's streamlive.tv, sometimes it's livestreams.tv. You just have to look at how angry Mr. Producer gets when I say it. That's how I work. So it's been quite a week for video games. Actually, it hasn't been much news-wise.
No, we're just going to call it Cold Early.
Well, no, we actually had
Back
one
up
big
now.
thing. We had one
Yeah.
big thing.
Yep.
But there's been good games coming out this week. And first up, I received a very surprising game this week that I thought I'd just start the show off with. And
Yes.
It's been getting a lot of showing online. And James, we'll just start up the beginning. What most people have been doing with the game. And James, let's see how quick it takes you to see what I've been playing.
Okay, alright, go for it. What? Oh, is this
Is this basketball?
This is the character generator in basketball game?
In NBA
Yeah.
2000.
Alright, and was that the point cloud of trying to generate Paul?
Yes. And then you had to put your own hair on, so I went and tried to put myself together.
Yes, it's getting there.
It's all right. And then my wife was quite excited.
Yes.
So,
Can you make the eyes any squintier? That's
I couldn't really. No.
That's maximum
They're
squint.
already pretty squinty.
So my wife gave it a shot too.
Yes.
Oh, does it scan your face?
Yeah, it scans your face into there.
Yeah.
Big problem though. They don't actually have female characters in the game. So it goes through this calculation
Yeah,
phase.
yeah.
I recorded it this time going all through. This is sped up 2,000%, by the way. And that's my wife as a man.
That's fascinating because I can see it.
Yeah. It's all right. I'm like, oh well, if I was going to kiss him. So, for some reason this week I received in the mail NBA 2K16.
Okay.
Which I opened the packet and just sort of looked around for the hidden camera.
Yeah.
Is this a joke? Who's having fun? And I thought, you know what? If someone's going to send it to me, I'm going to fucking review a sports game.
All right.
So, NBA 2K16 is a sports game of the sport basketball. So a few things, aside from my general, I don't like sports games thing, and here's fantastic, it puts your character in the story mode. I also like to say the story mode is directed by Spike Lee. It's a Spike Lee joint. And it puts your character in there, and I have to say that Spike Lee hates lips. So if you don't have,
What is wrong with your mouth?
No, that's what I've got all the tips in my mouth. It goes freakish. If you don't have thick African American lips, you have a twisted, deformed face most of the
You're
time.
a face man.
Because they take the motion captured points and they put it on whatever mesh is there.
Yes.
And unfortunately, doesn't work for everyone. The actual game itself is pretty gorgeous. It looks pretty
nice.
Yeah, playing high school football.
Oh yeah, the best as well.
Well, it's all the same.
I actually played basketball for many years for the Mitchelton Dragons. I was actually a pretty decent player.
Go M-Dogs.
I'm not saying that I'm I'm not saying that I was going to play state or anything, but I didn't suck.
Don't go as far as pro. Like, not even state. No.
See, and the thing is, like, okay, I cannot compare this to previous 2K games because it's me and it's a sports game. But the thing that frustrates me about playing it and most sports games now is that just notice how good the animation is and how realistic most of it really looks.
Yes.
Which means it can't be that responsive. If you push turn around, your character has to turn around. It's like everyone was complaining about that in The Witcher 3, and they eventually patched it to make it far more direct.
He's saying because it's gone for reality, and
because it's trying to actually mimic like the physics of the ball, where your feet have to be the balance. Like it's a super impressive feat. What they've done, like it's cool. I'm looking, oh yeah, this looks like.
It's very impressive to watch.
Yeah, but playing it, I just felt like he didn't respond to me most of the time. And it's actually interesting because I only played my career, so straight out there, I haven't played just a full
Potato.
career. Yeah, his name's Hot Potato.
That's pretty appropriate.
But in this, it's actually interesting because you just play your character, so you don't play the whole team.
Oh, isn't that get boring? Like,
well, see, I like it because
with someone else.
But see, I kind of like it feels more like a sport to me if you're playing a character.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, I have to get in a defensive position. I have to attack. I have to work with other people, as opposed to just taking control of whoever's in the best position, the most exciting position at any one time. And that's why I like Rocket League so much, because Rocket League is just you're in the action, doing the direct action all the time, and it's so responsive. Whereas this is, it's what modern sports games have turned into.
Do you like upgrade stats or anything?
Yeah, you do improve throughout. You can, when you actually create your character, you actually get to choose a whole bunch of like default things, like I'm right-handed and I favor this, I shoot like this, and I don't know what
basketball
most of it really was. For someone that cares about that, it's very detailed, and so they've got the normal career. One of the things that actually really annoyed me about the game, but is also good, when you first put in the disc into the PS4, this is on PS4, I'm playing it, it took, I don't know, because the first time it didn't actually work, I had to uninstall it and reinstall it. It probably took me about 5 hours to get the game installed.
What? That's crazy.
Of a failed installed and then another one, and it messed up with an update, and when you're doing that, you can't play the game.
They're not billboarded. We've gotten to the point where audiences don't have to be billboarded.
Well, actually, that's kind of what excited me the most about it. So we'll just do this. So you got to install it. You can play games while it's installing, but it's just one team versus another, and you can't set any options or anything. But the one thing that I really like in this game, because this is part of the story, and later on in this game, some of the other teams start like really aggressively getting up on me, like literally just like, basically tackling me on screen and like getting aggressive to me, and it made me think that whilst I don't think this is responsive enough for me to feel like a sport, it actually would be a really interesting way to tell a story.
I was going to say, it'd be an interesting way to have a fighting game.
Yeah, but I mean, when you actually start having individual characters on screen that can have relationships and discussions, have you seen that Key and Peele sketch where they're dancers in like the 80s?
No.
Oh, they're like aerobic dancers, like old aerobic Australia. And then someone comes on the side of the screen and tells one of them that his wife's just been killed.
Oh,
and it's the other dancer who's next to him. But they can't stop dancing. So, instead of that kind of narrative element, which I don't think Spike Lee quite succeeded with this, it did just come off as a very straightforward, I'm going to be a high school that has like some rough friends and I become a good basketball player.
With the other players on your team, given you only play one person, is there any personality to those characters that come out like through the game while you're playing it?
Not that I've noticed, but I've only played a little bit. Yeah, that's it. You cannot take my word on whether this is a good basketball game or not. I am not that person.
You're saying you are not the authority?
I am not the authority on basketball games. But at least it felt like in the matches I played that people did have a specific personality. Yeah. And I may have projected.
Yeah.
But it seems to me that we're at that point now where that can be a really interesting thing to put on, especially in a story mode. But having a story, because it made me think one of my favourite films is actually Rollerball. Not the remake, the original with James Caan. And that's like, if you had a game which was like a sport and then the narrative played out through a whole length of matches, that'd be rad. I want that game.
I kind of want the narrative to be a heist movie. I want a basketball heist.
That could be interesting.
Gonna go for the dunk.
You just have like you just have like the post heist like rundown match. Like, oh yeah, we can't believe he got shot. Yeah. There's like everything. Then while you're planning it, and depending on how good you are at passing, is how good you're going to end up getting the cash or anything.
It's how they practice to get past the lasers.
Lasers. Yeah. Lasers and basketball.
Yeah,
I would play
that's
that.
how they're practicing. All the lasers are in, they're dancing around.
I don't think you've played basketball.
We played basketball once. At your house.
Do we want to go into this story?
No, we don't.
Let's just say James doesn't take a long time to black out. Anyway, so that was my surprise of the week.
Yeah, that's
here's the rule. If you send me something, I'll review it.
Anything. Anything?
You can take it as a challenge, yeah. Yeah.
Can I send you stuff?
Yeah, if you want to send me Destiny,
it should be like specific to games.
No. Remember, we're still waiting on the twerking butt. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get it eventually, man. We'll get it.
We should take it around and like 50 cents a twerk. Just like take it around the city. Yeah, free stuff, please.
Yeah, as many free things as you want.
No one here has an Xbox One.
Just saying.
Yeah.
And Surface Pros.
The new Oculus 2?
Yeah.
I'll get on that a little bit. Okay. I know I'm talking a lot.
Yes.
But can I talk about the actual game I was excited about this week?
Alright.
Okay. So this was like my anticipated game of the year. This is Soma. This is the follow-up to Amnesia: A Dark Descent.
Okay, so sorry, before we get started, can I set up the quick yes or no on could James play this game?
No.
The answer's no?
No.
Oh, okay.
Is it because you get scared?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you.
I get scared also. Now, this had sort of got a bit past it on me because whilst it's supposed to be a scary game, it's more focused on ideas about self and people who had they've been transferred into robot forms and they don't know they're robots.
To be honest, actually terrifies me more. Like if you start getting in kind of existential identity destroying, that worries me.
But that can be less it's more devastating, but it's less pressure on you when you're doing it. Now, I'm not showing any. There's a little sort of
whatever.
Intro before the game, and I've skipped all that. It's it's the beginning of the game, but we can do with not spoiling it. There's sort of one major spoiler for the game, which if you think about it for any second, you can work out it's not really a twist, but I'll avoid that as well. It's very story based. So it's based underwater, if you haven't picked that up by now from the footage.
I thought it was in space.
No, originally everyone thought it was space, and then they revealed it was underwater. So, but that's actually still, there is space elements to there's a lot of sci-fi elements to it. And the story is really, really well told. Mm-hmm. There's lots of characters you interact with. They're all very well voice acted. They act like people, even though a lot of cases they are not people, or they might be people depending on your. Well, producer just had a pretty good one. That's only for the video people. But yeah, so other than that, it's first-person exploration walk around. Now, the part where the game really falls apart is where it just does the old-fashioned horror thing. So there are sections where there will be a monster.
Yeah.
And if you see the monster, you run away and you have to get past it. And if it gets you, it attacks you once and then you've got one more chance to get past it before you die.
Yeah.
Or you heal yourself before then. Now, they're just not interesting.
Well, what interested me about this one is the kind of stuff we're talking about, with the whole mind-body stuff. Like I remember in one of the first gameplay previews I had for it, it was like a brain which is kind of detached from a body, and okay, you're going mind-body stuff when detaching it, and experimenting.
And that's
with
most of it, and that's where it's interesting. And I do sometimes wonder whether a game is the best way of most of the stuff that's really good. I don't know if this being a game is making it better.
Should this have been a walking simulator?
Well, it kind of is a walking simulator.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the parts I'm talking about are very, you walk over a line and it triggers the monster, and the monster disappears when you walk over the next line where it turns it off. So it's not a big problem, but it does mean that there's a really interesting section I was in. There's a really annoying monster who at this point had learned to fucking teleport in front of you. So it's okay, well, what the hell do I do this? Which my final result was, well, I've just got to run.
Yeah.
I've just got to take a few chances, run a few random paths until I get past it, which meant that entire section of the game I didn't get to explore. And that's what's interesting about this game. They've got nice attention to detail of how the world's constructed, a lot of things to pull out. At the moment, again, not going to be spoiling anything, I have an opportunity to kill something. It happens lots of times in games.
In life in general.
Yeah. And I have to kill something.
Yeah.
So I'm really weighing up the options of what the best thing to kill is. Because in this, like, even things that everything has a purpose in it. Even the terrible, like, scary, I'm going to beat you up and kill you monster has a purpose of being.
Is it just
there.
one monster or many monsters?
It's mainly just one. I don't know if it's the same one at the same time. I'm only halfway through the game at this point.
Yeah.
Which at least I played half, which is way more than most horror games for me.
Yeah.
Again, because I can be a big giant wuss. But
Is
yeah,
it because it's less scary, or you're like used to scary games now?
It is because it's less of the tension and sudden death. That's what I dislike in horror games. I hate like just I just got to walk through this maze until I get through without being seen by the blob. That isn't compelling gameplay to me. But like a scary idea, I'm cool with. But at the same time, it's like I know nothing's really going to happen to me in these sections, so I'm not worried about going into the next room.
It's always
so it's, like I like it more that it's a good idea game, not that it's a scary game. It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
One of the things that's very interesting when you first start the game, it says play Soma, and then underneath it it's got play Soma add-ons and play alternate content. It's like they seem to have built it as a platform for people to add content to and add other stories and things like that.
Okay. And
I'm not quite sure what's going to come of that, because one of the things in the game world is that even though this might look pretty linear, this is based underwater and there's a whole bunch of different substations. And there's ways of going between them, and the game is just going through a straight path of them. But there's no real reason why you couldn't go back through them. And most of them are just built like a station would be. They're not built like a level. So it's not like you enter one point and leave another. You generally go in the airlock and leave by the airlock. So there's plenty of space in the same world to add other characters and different writing.
I really like the idea of like them creating a space, but giving people the option to go in and build stuff in there, to create little stories in it. Like, want to build this beautiful environment, and let people go in and tell their own narratives. Like we saw from like PT, that sort of came and went, but then we had Allison Road.
And we're having again later this episode.
Well, clearly there's a lot of people who really like that kind of creative horror. So basically, I want the Mario Maker, but horror games, horror game walking simulators.
Yeah. I'd do that. Yeah, so Soma so far really enjoyed. Just wish there was less horror in the horror game. No, I like the horror. I don't like the horror game in the horror game.
Okay, so
take those bits out.
You want horror concepts.
Yeah.
But you don't necessarily want hiding from the monster.
Actually, what I find funny is some of the puzzle solving is like at the moment I said I'm trying to find the thing that I can kill, that I choose to kill.
Yeah.
But it actually means in this section now I'm just sort of like pixel hunting the area, going, can I find anything? Yeah, maybe around here. It's really not scary at that point where I'm like, because that's actually the area where there's the floating eyeball in there. Yeah. And I was like, ooh, it's not so scary when I pick it up and read it. Anyway, Soma, it's on PC and PS4.
Is it?
Yeah.
Xbox One?
Don't know.
If someone sent us an Xbox One, we'll get
4 Xbox Ones. We'll check out and be able to report if it's on that also. I'm still really pleased with it. It's not quite like my goatee, but
what?
Game of the Year.
Okay.
It's because they really don't matter. It's funny to call it goatee as if it matters. Last year we gave goatee to Destiny, so it's obviously pointless.
We had to.
Terrible game. Okay. So since you're our guest here, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Witcher 3. So I set myself an oath that I'm going to complete the main quest by October 25th.
So why by October 25th? That's
I don't know. I think
date.
You need a date.
Well, it's before I go away to like Melbourne, and then all these other good games come out by then. But yeah, I just need to get it done because there's too many good games coming out. And it just needs to happen.
You're just going to play the first 2 or 3 hours and then move on and be never fulfilled by anything.
Yeah.
But
I was just like, I'm already over halfway done.
Okay, so
and how long is that? How long is it over half?
I don't know, a lot of hours. Apparently I still have 30 hours left. I don't know, some ridiculous amount. But yeah,
so
that's my goal.
What in Witcher 3, what's been your best stumbled upon, this has just come out of nowhere sort of story?
in part of the quest and stuff like that.
Just when you've been like something that's taking you totally by surprise in it. So either not being a quest, just being out and discovering something, or just a quest that's taken you somewhere that you didn't expect.
Well, it like happens like every single time. Like you try and do the main quest, and you're like, oh, this area looks cool. I'll go investigate that. And next minute you're like trying to find like dead whores or something like that. Like there's a lot of that in The Witcher 3.
I'm out of dead whores. If you can find me some, it'd be great. I need to get back into it. I didn't finish. I finished like the first, like the Griffin section, the introduction, and then you're in the next section, and I've sort of just started that, and then life happened.
Yeah.
And I need to get back into it. I was obsessed with Witcher 2. So anything else?
Life is Strange. Have you guys played that or talked about that?
I love Life is Strange. I probably need to buy it for James and force him to play it.
Yeah.
I played the demo. I liked the demo. I know I should play it.
It's really good. Especially, I think it's good for like non-gamers as well, because it's all story-based. Yeah. And I love that it's episodic. I hope more games start doing
it does episodic in good way. I think the final chapter's coming out end of October.
Yeah. So I'm really excited for that.
I found
it got a bit intense.
The way I like playing episodic stuff is I'll play the first episode. I was like, alright, I kind of like it, but then I'll just happily wait for the rest of it to come out and then just kind of play through the rest of it.
Yeah.
Man, you got to Game of Thrones this shit. You got to watch it and then you got to talk about it.
I need to be watching Game of Thrones.
It's not airing at the moment.
Yeah, that's why. Well, there you go.
Yeah. Imagine that.
I didn't actually watch the last season.
I'm not watching any more episodes of Red Dwarf either. You know, I was gonna say, "Hey, Dad."
No, man. Too soon. Too soon.
I just had to think of a show.
What? How'd you go to Hey Dad? What, your go-to show is Hey Dad.
Look, I fucking love the fat Arthur next door. He was the best. Arthur
Mr. Kelly.
Don't say that.
You can say it was. I liked the show. Have I made it awkward?
Let's just go. Okay. What were we talking about? Life is Strange.
Yeah.
Life is and actually no, we haven't made her on the video show. This is new to video watchers. The thing I love about Life is Strange is that it has really good narrative, but it's really enforced by the gameplay. And when it changes the gameplay, I suppose it's like I was criticizing Soma even before that. Like, does being a game benefit this story? And I don't know if it does. I'm like, it's still a good game. It's a good story, but you could have told the same story as a film. Yeah, it'd be a good book. But I think Life is Strange, if it were a book or a film, it wouldn't be as good as it is. Because one of the things that in the beginning, I gather you, like most people, every single discussion, because the main mechanic, if people have forgotten, is that you can rewind time in the game and have a do-over, which I think is great in fantasy, especially for a teenager. At the beginning, I rewound everything and tried everything. Every option to see which was the best for me. By the third episode, I wasn't rewinding anymore.
Yeah.
I only rewound for puzzles. I was just like, no, I know what I want to do. I know who I am as a character. Have you done that, or are you still rewinding everything?
No, I think, I just chosen my decisions and stuck with them. Unless, I don't know, I did it wrong, obviously, and you like go back and do it.
Without saying why, who did you pick at the end of the second chapter in the principal's office?
I think, I don't even remember. It's all a blur, it's so long ago.
There's the teacher, there's the shitty guy.
Yeah, the rich kid.
Yeah.
I think I picked the rich kid.
Everyone picked the rich kid.
Yeah, that's the cool thing.
I'm playing the long game on him, yeah. I was happy because I think that was like, I got like 7% because I picked the teacher. Like, no one picked the teacher. It's like, yeah! I have alternative. I deserve this game. With my cool pot-smoking friends. Goodness. Anyway, I'm not going to drink that glass of water because I'm going to speak some more. James, what have you been playing?
I played some Metal Gear.
Did you?
I think I finally found the Metal Gear. So I've been struggling a little bit with Metal Gear Solid 5 because there's a lot of game in Metal Gear Solid 5.
I would say too much game potential.
And the key reason I'm a Metal Gear Solid is for crazy Metal Gear story plot. And you can't really predict when you're gonna hit it. Like, they have hints. Like, there'll be kind of these quests that you pick, and they're kind of marked yellow. And they're kind of the main line. But you still don't really know if it's going to be any kind of, like, particular thing of note. And then suddenly, like, oh, well, now here's a Metal Gear. I'm like, okay, cool, I didn't really expect that. And it'll be like, here's a mission, go do this. And then halfway through that mission, like, no, something else happens. Yeah. And you kind of go off and do that. But playing it an absolute shitload, the hooks for the rest of the game have been kind of getting into me. So I was kind of stuck in this loop yesterday where I was playing Metal Gear Solid 5, and it was just like that one more mission thing, Because like I just need a little bit more fuel, and then I can upgrade this, or I want this weapon, so I need to kidnap more people to work in my research slave labs.
Oh, I thought you were going to melt them down in your gun factory.
I need to get
a
more
gun
bears.
made of people for killing people. That's very Metal Gear. So the one thing that I've been hearing a lot about is that the structure of Metal Gear, and sorry if you haven't heard this, James, that the main story is Chapter 1, and then there's a Chapter 2, and it doesn't have the same level of anything as the Chapter 1 does. It's not finished. And there was supposed to be a Chapter 3 that just wasn't even made at all. Okay. So it's like the game is legit straight up not completed.
Well, that would make me sad.
Which is sad, because the thing is they've got, we're still talking about people putting 120 plus hours into just finishing the content, period. Let alone doing the higher level challenges.
Because I really want closure. Like, there's not going to be any more Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
The loop needs to be closed.
It's like they put so much in, but they didn't put in the actual story part. They finished after Chapter 1 with it, and that's because in Chapter 2, it's in the same environments, and you'll go into old missions, but there'll be new objectives. But the audio from the first mission will still play and things like that. So you'll be going in and they'll be playing the audio about you going in to see someone that you've already killed. But it's just because that's the trigger of the area. It's like, oh,
okay. Well, I guess I'll get to it eventually. Well, no, Mr. Producer says eventual DLC, but no, because
the company doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, it makes me sad.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Give up now.
They set Kojima on fire.
Sorry?
They set Kojima on fire, I heard.
Don't tell me.
In a wheelchair, pushed him down the...
sorry. I thought you were talking about inside Metal Gear.
Oh, no.
Because
I was just making
did Paul just give me spoilers? By saying they set Kojima on fire?
I was just making a Red Dragon reference, because I love Red Dragon. They put Philip Seymour Hoffman in that wheelchair and set him on fire and pushed him down the car park.
Take that, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
He's dead, you can't say that.
Too soon, Mr. Kelly.
I miss him, he was good.
Yeah, he was
What was your favourite Philip Seymour Hoffman role?
I don't know.
Punch Drunk Love, that's the correct answer. It's like, fuck you! Fuck you!
But no, the other thing that I played this week, it was Rainbow Six Siege.
Yes.
Wait, how? Is that out?
The closed beta invites got sent out.
I love the genuine surprise.
I'm like, why am I playing it? Okay.
So, and actually, if you do want to play it, especially in Australia, getting keys to the beta is really easy.
Really?
If you just go and sign up on the site, Australian addresses have preference.
Yeah.
So I got the beta on PC, and James, being a filthy console slob, got the beta on PS4.
Yeah.
And we each said, you idiot.
One of us said, you idiot.
Well, I said it for both of us. I'm just a real prick. But I went and signed up to get a PS4 code as well. And did you get your PC code?
I signed up for one, but I didn't actually get it.
Oh, I got my PS4 code in like an hour. So
yeah, but we didn't even end up playing. You just told me.
I only had a chance to do it before the show this afternoon.
Be good friends.
We can never be good friends, James.
Well.
Not in this economic
finished
climate.
now? The beta?
No, it's still going. I was literally playing it just before the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you played it more than me earlier, James. So I'll let you take the lead until I correct you.
Until with
my opinions, yeah.
Okay, so Rainbow Six Siege is reminiscent of things like Counter-Strike. It's a team-based shooter with a strong emphasis on one team being a defender, so Counter-Strike has someone planting the bomb, and the other side someone attacking it. There are a bunch of nice touches in this thing. Like one of the problems you can have in any kind of team-based game is that once you're dead, it's like, well, you're kind of out, and you're basically there watching. Where in this game, it's like, no, when you're dead, you actually can still be involved. Like if you're on the defenders, you can kind of cycle through the security cameras and kind of still monitor what's going on. If you're on the attackers, you can still see these little robots. You saw them a second ago, the robots that were driving in. So you can kind of still look at those cameras. But yeah, those robots that are up before is because when this game starts out, it's basically the defenders have a chance to kind of barricade the building that's going to be sieged. And at which point, what are the attackers doing? Well, the attackers are kind of sitting there twiddling their thumbs. So what they get to do is basically roll in these little robots and kind of pre-scope the place out. So you can kind of
try to shoot the little robots.
You can try and shoot the little robots if you're a defender. I'm pretty sure. So like there's always something to do. And I thought that was really cool. The gunplay itself feels fine. It's a Tom Clancy shooter. It works. I was impressed with the destruction, with the being able to shoot through doors and things like that. Like the actual the way stuff is destructed or destroyed looks good. It tends to be destroyed realistically. Like if you shoot through a dry wall, like where you shoot, it'll be kind of be punched out. They've done a good job at kind of throttling like where you can shoot through things. So they have lots of places, like there might be a wall that you can destroy the drywall part, but there's a metal frame underneath, so you can't necessarily like move through it, but you can still kind of shoot through it. So at each game, like the defenders will get an opportunity to kind of barricade different bits and pieces. So you're never really quite sure like if you're gonna have the same kind of like path to get in every time, which is kind of nice. The biggest problem I have with it, and this is just the fault of any team-based game where you're playing with random people, is that there wasn't really much in the way of any kind of team play. It was just randoms. No one was really talking. There was only like one person on mic when I was playing, and I wasn't on the mic, so...
You at least just buddy up with one other person, even if they're not doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll just follow you, even if you don't care about it.
This is on the video here, that's kind of what I was doing. So, in this particular situation here, I was playing with someone, and they were kind of covering one way, and I was going to attempt to cover the other way. And they ended up getting shot, so I kind of knew where the defenders were, so I kind of went around and flanked them. So... I was still
flanked. Look
at
me, Mr. Military guy.
Flanking stuff.
I'm sporting stuff. You're militaring things.
Shooting things.
It's so good that we're talking about a gay game later the show.
Yeah, like it was just generally the biggest complaint I had is that getting any kind of teamwork requires people, and this is where I think it's going to kind of stumble in pretty much the same way that Evolve stumbled, in that this is a full price game, and I think for me to get full enjoyment out of this, I need to have at least one other person that I can play regularly with, preferably 3 other people, to really enjoy this thing. And at a full price game for a multiplayer thing, I don't know how likely that's gonna happen.
Why not 4 other people?
Oh, sorry, it's 5 on 5. You're right. So
I know.
yes.
I was just like taking the opportunity
You
to point out that you made a small mistake, and therefore I have to like try to emasculate you.
Yeah. Hey, I just killed someone.
Yeah.
Sometimes I accidentally say emancipate instead of emasculate.
Emancipate me.
Very different things. I'm not so good at talking. Yeah, so I only got to play a little bit Saturday, a couple of rounds. My very short feelings, I think it's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, the fact that you were saying, there's always something to do with it, but it very quickly, because I kind of expected everyone in the beta to be quite gung-ho. I'm like, I'm just going to hold off and I'm going to shoot people. And it's like, nope, already it's super like tactical, and people are really taking their time to scope out. And I'm like, this is like what I want from like a tactical game in very short bursts. Like a round's only 5 minutes. And if you die, it's great. You watch it for another couple of minutes and then you go again. Yeah. It's fast turnover. There's always something to do. Everything seems to work.
I like the verticality in it as well.
It's quite
like the ability that you can bust through floors, through the trapdoors is really cool. But even without just the trapdoors, you can still shoot through the floorboards and shoot down.
Well, that's what the first time I got killed, I was like, how the hell did I... And then I realized someone was literally directly above me and shot through the floor. I'm like, and they sent down the little robot and he saw it. I should not have stayed standing there. Oh, of course. I'm an idiot. But yeah, really, it's really what I want. I thought it was funny this week. There was a bit of a scandal that there's no single player campaign. Like, who thought there was?
I don't know.
I think people just expect that.
I do expect it with games, except when there are things that say this is a multiplayer game like Counter-Strike. Although they didn't have that Counter-Strike single player game, didn't they?
Oh, Counter-Strike 0?
I don't know. I think either way, it was not well received.
There are bots in this, so there's terrorist hunt mode.
Yeah. There is that
which
mode too.
I gave a go, and it was kind of terrible. It could have just
terrible because of the team, or terrible because it doesn't seem like a good mode?
Terrible, I think, because of the team. And I was playing on normal as well, and it seemed like the AI was kind of dumb. There, like at one point there was an AI that was just like looking basically at a corner, not looking around. I was like, okay, shot him, and that was it. But yeah, like I think that potentially could be really good if it was like on a really hard difficulty, and you're playing with 4 other people that are new. Like I think it's a lot of fun, but I think that comes back to the price point. In that for a full retail game,
is it going to be like a full retail price?
It's full retail price.
Yeah, like I could see like if they were going for like maybe the $40 US mark. Like it's still a premium price game, but it's not. It's not against a Metal Gear Solid 5, which has 120 hours of gameplay and still isn't finished. or Witcher 3, which is just fucking great. Okay, I also just wanted to add, Hollowed Eyehounds on the chat was pointing out that Amnesia: The Dark Descent had very similar setup to Soma when it came to community-based content.
Okay.
There is a whole lot of community-made content for Amnesia, although apparently a lot of them are just troll maps made for like shitty YouTubers that want to scream at them.
Okay, well,
I feel
it's
really,
already there.
I feel like I quickly like enjoyed that phenomenon for about half an hour.
What?
The YouTube
The
Amnesia?
YouTube streamers. Like there was some guy, and I thought he's one of the more popular ones, and obviously I don't know his name because I'm a terrible human being. But he's this American guy with a deep voice, and he was doing. I think it was the first time I saw Five Nights at Freddy's, and I'm like,
Markiplier?
I think so,
I
yeah.
don't know.
I'm like, oh, this guy, oh, he's funny, and then I realized, oh wait, that's what you fucking do every day.
I get paid lots of money for it.
I enjoyed one video. That's where I feel like I really like the first Five Nights at Freddy's, and then it's like, oh, this is still going, and it's having hundreds of thousands of views of people just yelling at it the day. Yeah.
Don't we all, Mr. Producer?
Yes.
Don't we all?
If you'd like to pay me to scream at you, I will.
Or if you want to pay, if you want to like give us money to review. Like, if you want to give us... like, just saying, like, if you want us to review money, just send it through.
Oh, yeah. We'll review the new notes.
Yeah.
So if Treasury
the hundreds?
I thought your direct thing was like, if you want us to review your game, send us money.
No. I want to review money, sir.
It's the money cast.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be trying out the new yen today. Yes, you can buy a Coke. Very good. Okay, we got something else to move on to, I guess, in this show that we do.
Yeah, this video game
show.
show.
We can go into the world. We can go into the world of VR that happened this week.
Yes, VR happened.
So many VR things going on. So Oculus had their big announcement of Oculus 2, and it's going to have new Oculus Touch controllers. Oh, we're touching
I have heard of people using this and told me it was amazingly great.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same.
Because the controllers, they're super similar to the Vive's design, aren't they? Because the Vive had basically it's a Elite motion controller around the hand that maps the fingers as well. So, I mean, it just seems to make sense. It's like, standard controllers were kind of pointless, and these map your fingers and your hand position, and what else do you want?
It's... I mean, I still really need to use one to kind of fully appreciate just how great it is, but it's been very positive that I've heard from that input.
Yeah. I mean, I hear even things that have had fake hands before, as long as your hand was in the same position. That just added to the immersion. Something that actually can be in at least mostly the same position.
Your brain will actually do a pretty good job at taking an approximation and just running with it. Yeah. So as long as it's like there's something roughly in position of where your limbs are, your brain will go, right, that's cool. Like that's you. And it stops being weird. I was actually using a DK2 today, and I was just doing one of the tests. And it was just like the desk, so you can kind of look in and look at stuff, but there's no body, and immediately it's super weird. so finding a good solution to just like mapping finger movements especially is great. Like it's going to make a huge difference to the experience.
Now, hardware's all well and good.
Yes.
But are there any games coming? The answer is yes!
Oh, yay!
Yay! Games! That's not the beginning of the video, I thought. Either way, it doesn't matter. These are some games. Maybe I put them around the wrong way, or maybe I put the wrong video on here. So lots of cool things, including a new Surgeon Simulator, which I think, it's funny, in VR, doesn't that make Surgeon Simulator too easy? Yeah. It's like, it was supposed to be like hard to line things up and control things, but I just get to use my hands.
Like real life.
But apparently, someone was talking about playing Surgeon Simulator, and they said it was super intimate.
Intimate?
Yeah,
with a dead body?
Yeah, like they were like getting in there. So these are a whole bunch of these are all tech demos mainly for the touch, and some of them were they're just like the one where you're in the office and you just get to play with like staple guns and like knock all the shit around. Like there's no point to that sort of stuff. But there are a few actual games coming out. So Adrift is going to launch with Oculus.
So remind me what Adrift is.
Adrift is Gravity the game.
Gravity the game.
You remember that movie Gravity with Sandra Bullock?
Yes, Gravity, not as in the Force.
Not the Force. The film.
The film, yes. Yeah.
So you're in a space station and it's being torn apart, and you have to. As far as I can tell, it's a walking simulator where you have to collect air. But it's a fucking pretty walking simulator where you have to collect air. And we also have Bullet Train, which is by Epic Games, and I believe this is a short shooting experience. But what they've done in here is you see there's the teleport icon over there. So anywhere that you can see, you can teleport to, so you then get around the moving around function with that. But I find the visual style of this crazy. It's like they've like mapped a real location and then put animated characters on top that don't quite match it.
I find the hands interesting. So, I think the other games had that kind of hand, that kind of ghosty hand.
Yeah.
And like, it just seems to be like is this the language of what we're having now? Like, is this
going
to be kind of like the standard? And I'm kind of wondering what kind of like playtesting has led to. Is the best thing to do have a ghosty hand? Like, why that mechanically would be the best thing to do?
Don't you have a ghosty hand?
My hand's irregular.
You have to travel back in time and stop your parents from having sex.
Oh, like in the movie.
Yeah.
Be good movie.
Yeah, sliding doors.
Sliders. The future.
Sliders.
What are we doing? Video games.
So, a rude question. How old are you?
26.
Do you know sliders?
No.
Oh,
she's missed the window.
You missed the sliding window. The sliders window.
Wait, who's in it?
We've got Jeremy. What was his last name?
I don't know. It's got the professor.
It's got Gimli.
It's got Gimli.
It's got John Rhys Davis.
Yeah, John Rhys Davis is in there.
Yeah, he plays the professor. And it's got a black person.
Yeah.
That was the song at the time.
Remington.
But that was his character.
Yeah, no, he was. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the actor's name.
Yeah.
That's where I'm racist.
No, Sliders was great. It was a show where the characters would travel.
Just to your attention to the previous.
Where they travel between dimensions. So it's like alternate realities. And so
wait, Sliders, the TV show.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I was totally a big fan.
It's great. It's the new Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
Now Quantum Leap,
that was a cool
that
show.
is great.
Yeah, but on the VR stuff, our designer just got back from Oculus Connect 2, and our CEO, and they got to try Bullet Train.
Were they both amazed?
Yes, and they got to try the Henry demo and everything.
Which is the Henry demo?
It's like the animated one, little hedgehog.
Yeah.
And they got to try that. They said that was really amazing. But yeah, Bullet Train, they were also amazed by that. So sounds really cool. Yeah, and you could like click back the gun thing.
Oh, so
you can pull the hammer back with the.
Oh, that's good.
That's so lame
and the shotgun apparently is like a two-handed thing.
Oh, so good.
So yeah, I'm excited for that.
I think next year is year of VR. We're gonna start.
Yeah.
We're gonna start. Hopefully, from everything sounds like to see that technology hit the
I
consumer
read
market.
a little thing today that it was just entitled "Archery in VR." And I went, yes!
That's a pitch. That's it. Done.
It's done. That's the entire thing. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito twins. Sold. Already. Perfect. Okay, so among that, a little bit of VR news this week. If you remember Among the Sleep, which was that little horror game where you got to play a toddler, and one of the initial things was they were selling it was going to be VR, come out, have Oculus support and all that. It'd be pretty cool seeing, little toddlers' perspective and looking up and look, it's
well, scale's always great to play with VR.
Yeah, they said it's too hard. They're not doing it anymore, which is because it really was sold as a VR experience from the very beginning.
Yeah, because you could download that on Steam. I think the demo you could download them.
Yeah, you could download a VR demo, but I think they put in too much like scripted animation in it, which like you have to as soon as you control the camera it gets
kind of yeah.
So they sort of messed it up. Sorry. But in exciting VR news, which we have absolutely nothing to know about, but it excites me anyway because of the people involved, we have the co-creator of Rick and Morty.
Which one?
Well, not Dan Harmon. The other one whose name I always forget.
Justin
Yes, Justin! And he's joining up with one of the main designers from the Stanley Parable to make a VR game.
Really? Oh, is that why he's got a HTC Vive kit?
Yeah.
He was tweeting about it.
He's just like, there's literally shit all to know. You can look at some sketches of maybe from the game, maybe just doodling. I don't know. But either way, just having
Rick and Morty,
Rick and Morty plus Stanley Parable. At the moment, I mean, they're creative people that are going to come up with something new. But I just imagine Rick versus the narrator. It'd be great. Anyway, so other things. I was playing a little game this week by some friends of ours, at Witchbeam. I actually paid my own money to buy Assault Android Cactus.
Alright, I feel a little bad because I haven't bought it yet.
I bought it.
You bought it, so I'm...
Oh, you bought it as well? So we're both good people.
Yeah, I've been playing
Alright, so... Well, now I'm getting stared at.
No.
Okay, tell me how great it is.
Pretty great.
It's really fucking good.
Yeah.
And this is, nothing mean to the team, I don't care that much about score-driven twin stick shooters. They don't. No, but there's a few things that I just think made it fucking great. So like the standard game is nice, go level. It's great. Lots of variety, choosing your character. Very different play styles depending on the guns you go with. And I was having fun enough. And then I went and they've got the Infinity Drive and the Daily Drive. Have you done any of these?
I haven't done any of that yet. I've just been doing the campaign.
So the Daily Drive, I believe, is kind of like a seeded challenge. So you go and do it each day and then you get ranks. I don't know if I was early in the day or whatever. I was ranked 97th in the world.
Well done, Paul.
I was like, holy shit, I'm terrible. But like that's literally like an endless mode. So they've got these endless modes where between waves the worlds transform and they just throw all the different enemies at you. And once you start getting past those, this is the first level in the game after the tutorial. When you start getting these more interesting enemies, it's enemies that grab you and slow you down, and enemies with like different like pattern attacks around that you have to dodge. It's everything you want from like bullet hell shooters done with twin stick shooters and everything, where it's all about movement and prioritizing your targets and prioritizing your energy, because you've got the secondary weapon which has to cool down after you use it, so you have to use it at the right time, plus making sure you have to collect batteries constantly because the battery power drains, and that's how the level ends. It's not, if you get killed, that's fine. You just, just died there. You just tap to get back up, but it takes time to do that. So it's always time-based, and you've got to keep getting batteries to keep the level moving. So it works fantastic for an infinite mode, because as it ramps up, it's much harder to get those batteries because it's behind 10 bosses, and it's like, holy shit. So I was having a lot of fun with just that. And then I remembered, I actually didn't mention this when we went and interviewed Santana, we put in a trailer for the game. But because we didn't have Mr. Producer there, we faked it. And that trailer was put in afterwards. And they added a bunch of shit to the game I didn't know about. I would have asked them about. Because they've got all these different view modes. So you can play the game first person.
Really? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
How do you find that?
First person you can switch it to like a classic sort of isometric view, all these different like over the shoulder, all stuff. All these views, they've got different visual filters that can go over stuff like that. They're all unlocked bonuses, like sort of like big head mode sort of things.
Is it a spoiler?
No. Well, here I just brought it up here. So yeah, scorched visual filter, psychedelic filters. They got the music one down the corner, which is the cheapest one, which I bought first because it's as much money as I had. It makes the music speed up and slow down as the pace of the game increases and slows down.
That's cool.
It's like, oh, okay, so yeah, you probably do want that. Maybe sometimes you just want to listen to the music and not have that go, but. How cool! And then they've got like gallery of things to download. They've got jukebox and sound test there. It's so much an old school game. There's no like here, just pay here to unlock all the extra bonuses. It's like no. You just play, and as you play, you get more options, and getting more options gives you a reason to keep playing. And just like
I do like the idea of like those like the big head mode stuff they've done.
Yeah.
Actually letting
I actually don't know if they have big head mode. They already have pretty big heads.
Yeah, it's true. But just like making that a thing where you can actually spend resources to pick and choose the one you want.
Yeah.
I want this one, and I really want to see that first person.
Yeah.
I've got to get better at what I'm doing to do it. So I'm just going into the daily drive here, so you can see how that ramps up.
The animation is amazing.
Yeah.
It's so slick.
And the voice acting as well. The characters are awesome.
I think at this point I was still trying to work out if I could change the view mode. I want to try the first person.
I want that first person mode.
I bet the game is terrible in first person, but I still just want to try it. But yeah, just everything's so slick about it. I've lost my thought of train there. I got distracted by looking at the game. Thought of train? Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Okay.
Actually, an old lecturer of mine, when I thought I could be a game developer, he used to say that. He also used to say fairy muff instead of fair enough.
Is that where you got that one from?
Yep. He was a wonderful man. He programmed, what was it, War Torn? I think that was the strategy game back in the we tracked out a copy of it and made him sign it. He hated us for it. Christian something, I can't remember his last name. I'm sure he watches. Because I was a Quantum Boy back in the day, you know?
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Where James briefly taught.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. But many years apart. many years apart. Anyway, yeah. It's been doing really well for them. It's been great to see. I try not to... like I spruik it to the people that I know, but I have I wouldn't go and post things on Reddit or something because well, I'm not friends, but I'm friendly enough that it feels like I'll say it's nice, but I won't go on and say you should go and buy this thing. But everyone else has been doing it, so I've just been watching them do it and then sharing their stuff. And that's I feel like I've been doing.
It's
the
alright.
same
You
thing.
just have to disclose the connections, and you can spruik it as much as you want.
Yeah. I mean, we're pretty. Whatever. Yeah. It's a good game.
Yeah, it's good. And being done by such a small team is the
so
level
good.
of polish on that is crazy. Yeah. And it's 2.5. I think it was 2.
Yeah,
was it
2 to 3.
2 or 3.
Because it's Tim, Santana, and Jeff.
Okay, 3 people. Yeah.
And there's someone else did some little side work on it.
Yeah.
So it's 3 and a bit.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing what they pulled off. It's such a small team. It's great.
Did you have any other impressions of?
I just think it's cool. I love all the characters. I have to decide
there's
a
lots of
favorite
characters
character.
to unlock as well.
Yeah.
Heaps of them.
So I have to decide a favorite one. That's my challenge.
Well, and they're all very different as well.
Yeah.
They're not
different
just
voice acting and the guns and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very impressive. I say good things. Okay, so time for some controversy.
Control.
Voice actors strike. Dun dun dun. So it's big for about conditions of voice actors in the video game community. By Screen Actors Guild, so this is mainly dealing with America, but flow-on effects, all this sort of stuff. So apparently Nolan North and whoever else does voice acting in video games.
Harsh.
And Troy Baker and
was it Will
and
Wheaton?
Helen. Well, Wilson. No, these people aren't actually behind it. I just pretend that these are the only people that do voice acting.
Right.
Most of them have thrown their hat into support. Basically, they've come up with wanting to negotiate rights. Now, some of the things that Screen Actors Guild's put up, I have really opposed and always have because I'm also film is my background. The idea of residuals, especially when it's just to actors, is an insane concept to me. That said, it does support actors' lives and all that. It's the only way. You get that one commercial when you're 15 and you never really get a payday again, but you're still okay because they keep bringing that commercial back every couple of years. And I know a few people like that actually that paid most of their lives to doing one thing that just happened to get enough airtime.
There was someone who was in Cheers that didn't really have a. Who heard this story? But it's someone who's would show up with basically sitting in the bar, never actually did anything. I think it was Cheers, and then they basically just make a full-time salary from that, for the rest of their lives,
Yeah, it's there's cases of where someone will get their family member to write a song for the closing credits, and it might just be a chord, and then that family member gets residuals for music because musicians get it as well.
Doesn't Danny Elfman have the opening sting of The Simpsons?
Oh, yeah, but he wrote it, so he did more than just that. He did the actual theme song as well.
Oh, okay, all right. No, it's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, he did bring something to the table.
Okay, all right.
So, residuals aside, which is something I have, they're looking at working conditions of things like high stress pay and not being able to get someone to scream for 10 hours straight, which, I guess, we're not all built for that. That's fine. It's hard to negotiate in this industry because, I'm sure both you are aware that it's not necessarily the most developer anyone developer. It's not that friendly to anyone particularly.
It's a tough industry,
and then
it's very tough.
And when you want to try to negotiate and do some sort of, is there any sort of game developer unions that you know of?
No, not really.
And they seem actually quite resistant to that sort of group bargaining action.
Even just in tech in general, when I was just doing straight development, there's not really any it's just it's not a unionized force.
I'm in a tech union.
You can be in a tech union.
Woo! Pinky liberal!
There's not really a programmer union.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Should start one. No.
Nah.
Why not?
No, because you guys prefer to negotiate a contract and get sweet deals.
Remember that year when you made below the poverty line?
That's when I was being a game dev. Good old game dev. No tax for James that year.
Yeah. That was the sweet. If you make below the poverty line, you don't have to pay tax.
Yeah.
That's a money-making scheme for you. Good work. At least you've got that rich doctor girlfriend.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Not in a union either.
She's
I thought they were
No,
forced to.
No, it's
for insurance costs.
no.
or
That's
something?
insurance. A separate thing.
Ooh.
Not like joining unions. They actually have really shitty working conditions.
Oh.
Yep. Nurses, they got a sweet union, but doctors,
Yeah.
just, they get.
I thought they would be the same.
Which is funny because nurses still have shitty working conditions.
Yeah.
But okay, so welcome to the union show. We're gonna.
Yeah. So voice actors.
Did anyone
Alright.
read Andrew Bolt's love letter to Tony Abbott this morning?
No, I didn't.
It was fantastic.
Oh, that's
Look it
true.
up.
Yeah. So okay. So voice actors, and it's a question here. Like, does the strike mean anything, or?
Well, because there are things in that it's like also demands that if you had people in the Screen Actors Guild in your cast, you then couldn't have non-union actors, which is a standing sort of clause. But that includes if you're a dev and you want to put your own voice in the game. It's like, but
Yeah, I think
being a shitty voice in a game is all I ever wanted to do.
I think that there probably needs to be a bit of a distinction here, because on one hand you have things like, I'm just going to throw out like Everyone's Gone to Rapture or something, which the delivery of that is pretty critical to the game. Like, you need to have...
That raises it from a 1 to a 2.
Alright, I think, anyway.
Let's say the voice cast...
I thought the voice cast was fine.
Because
you played Rapture, right? Everyone's Gone to Rapture?
I want to. It's on my to-do list.
I think the voice acting is fine.
Have you bought it yet?
No, it's
Don't.
on my... no, I wanted to play it.
No, you
I
should-
think it's
You
a
can
game
borrow
I
it if you
like.
want. I don't think.
Oh.
I don't actually,
Really?
and I will argue I don't think the voice acting is good. But I think that's beside the point, because I was thinking about this going like, who needs voice actors anyway? And then I think of things like Psychonauts.
Yeah.
If we didn't have anyone talking about Mr. Pokelope,
Yeah, like, it's definitely...
that soup is made from turtles. Turtles
Turtles
you
you
love.
Do you ever play Psychonauts?
I haven't.
It's
no.
great. Yeah, it's great.
Fantastic voice
No, I
cast
think-
and everything. And like, it is important, you know, depending on the type of game you're making,
Yeah.
it is very important.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I was going to put any voice work into my game, I wouldn't be looking for any residuals or anything if it was like a little thing of it. But like Stanley Parable, like, does the narrator deserve a cut of that?
Well,
Okay.
yes.
Yes.
In that case, see, that's the thing. That's where residuals are always
Yeah.
the difficult thing, to have them as a blanket thing. And that's what I saw as before, because even the Screen Actors Guild has sort of said that that's a harder thing to argue.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, in a movie, it can make more sense, especially with stars, because...
Well, the stars are the calling card. Like, if you put a particular actor in a movie, that is going to get...
The amount of people will say, like,
to it.
have you seen the latest whatever movie
but with
and
a
it's the
game,
actor?
even Nolan North, like, I've never heard anyone say, have you played the latest Nolan North game?
Mm.
Like, it's like, well, he's in it and I recognize
Did you play
his
the
voice.
latest Ellen Page game, though?
I would play an Ellen Page game.
Did you play the latest Ellen
No,
Page?
Ellen's the best.
It's Beyond Two Souls.
Oh, I was talking about Ellen, not Ellen Page.
Ellen DeGeneres?
Yes.
So an Ellen dancing game is what we're after?
I was like,
I hope that becomes a thing.
actually, no,
That would
I,
be
like,
good.
I
Yeah,
know
I'd play
my
that.
brain went straight to Ellen DeGeneres, and like, I wanted an Ellen DeGeneres game. She's made one. She had like that.
But
the when you hold up buttons.
James, you'll be happy to know they're both lesbians. So you're halfway there. What we're saying is that lesbians all look the same to James. Okay. So yeah, that's happening at the moment,
Yeah.
and there's potential strike action over it. I don't really
Wait,
know.
so has Nolan North actually struck?
Well, the strike hasn't happened yet,
Okay.
as far as I'm aware.
Because I was thinking,
They're
They're
just
just
talking about it.
So yeah, so the way unions normally goes to say, we're going to strike. Everyone in the union take a vote if we're going to strike, and
Yeah.
then everyone does the vote, and then they strike. But because games are not really a time-sensitive thing when it comes to doing the voice acting,
well, yeah, you slap it in at the end, right?
well, not so. It's just like if someone's not working for 2 days, it's probably
Yeah.
alright.
Well, yeah, like like I keep thinking like Destiny with like they've replaced Dinklage with Nolan North, but like if Nolan North was to strike for a week, like would that really have much impact on the development of whatever other DLCs happening?
I don't know.
Probably not.
The next part of Destiny might end up a little dry if that happened.
Destiny's good, man. It's gotten good. He doesn't believe me.
Fuck Destiny.
Have you played Destiny?
I love it.
You have to love it, but you did play it.
Yeah.
Would you
Ish.
give it like a 6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy what I played, but then I'm just like, I'm done here.
Yeah.
I'm moving on to something else.
Paul's just kind of. What are you doing, Paul? What's up?
It's just not worth thinking about. It's fine. Why do people? It's fine. Whatever. People can like what they want to like. Whatever. Go
Will,
play some
sir.
NBA. I'm gonna go home and play some NBA. It'll be great.
Oh, I picked up, and I'll talk about it more next week, but I picked up Alien Isolation.
I want to play that.
Yeah.
So it looks scary.
It does. It's actually a couple game, I decided, because Cheryl wants to watch me play the game.
Yeah.
I will
Cheryl always likes to watch.
She does like to watch. I will try my best to get through it.
No.
Yeah, I've heard very good things. So next week we'll have a report on how long do you reckon it'll last? Give me time. Yeah.
Okay, so the alien doesn't get in for about an hour or two.
So an hour or two.
Yeah. And then you'll stop.
Or I'll see something that looks a little bit like an alien. That'll be it. Or I'll get to a corridor with two choices.
You just put down the controller.
You'll be walking down a corridor and then a hose will burst.
That's it.
And go flap, 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 flap like the alien's tail, and you'll be like, fuck this.
Like this. I'm good. I'm out.
Done.
Yeah, I think Dead Space, I got to a corridor where I could go left or right. And that was it. I'm done. Like, nope. Giving me choice. Fuck this.
Did we get through Dead Space? Was it just because we were playing together?
Yes. Like, I want to try it on my own.
Oh, you tried it.
Yeah, and like I was playing it. Cheryl was actually there with me while I was playing it. I was wearing headphones because she didn't want to hear any of it. She just wanted to watch the screen.
That's more scary though.
And yeah, I didn't last long.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Okay, so time for some news attack.
Oh, is that what we're calling it? Can I do a song?
You can do a news attack song.
Oh, okay. What do I have to do? Give me a tune. Okay. So one of the things we used to do on the podcast, made news attack, was that we'd have to do a theme song to a random song.
And we had to do a quick theme song, but we always spent so long talking about the fucking theme song.
Yeah.
That took way longer than just doing
give
long form news.
Oh, okay, fine. Just give me a song.
Pharrell Williams Happy.
What?
What?
That's Pharrell. Who?
It's like everyone knows that song.
Don't.
Thank you. I keep bringing up like these very standard pop culture things.
Can you hum me a bar?
'Cause I'm happy. Da, 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 'cause da, 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 'cause I'm happy.
Oh, no, it's news time.
No, it's gone. Just do a fuck. Just you get married as a little lamb. That's all you get.
No.
We're gonna do.
Was that Advanced Australian Fair?
Advanced Australian Fair. How did my brain go to Advanced Australian Fair? Gonna watch some news right now. It's gonna be really great. With all the news attack, it's time to do some news right now. Lamb.
With boundless planes to share.
American.
Yeah. For those who come across the seas with boundless planes to share. Oh, fuck. Anyway, let's politics. Okay, big news. Volga the Viking, the crowd-funded, awesome, and incredibly hard 2D platformer, has been released on Dreamcast. It was done.
Okay.
It was done by some other people who ported it, and they were given the blessing from the original developers. So if you're still running a Dreamcast and you know how to bootload that thing, because it's real fucking easy, you can go play Volga the Viking on it for free.
You still got yours plugged in?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Yes, that's me. Blops 3, also known as Black Ops 3, is still being released on PS3 and 360. I did not know this, but if you do buy it on that, they didn't even bother trying to port the single player. It's just the multiplayer, which is fine. I think it's a $40 price instead of a $60.
I think it's a fair compromise, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean the thing is like if
just
they keep
upgrade already.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's there at all. But yeah, cool. The sequel to Wolfenstein: The New Order has been leaked that it exists by a voice actress, so she doesn't deserve any residuals for that. Fucking.
Did we know what era it's set?
No, we just know that it exists, and it's not going to be any earlier than 2017. So why think about it? Why do we even bother reporting it? I don't know.
News attack.
News attack. Hitman, if you were looking forward to buying that unfinished game at the end of this year, you can buy that unfinished game at the beginning of 2016 instead, because it has slipped. Remember they weren't going to finish it? They're going to do like time release. They're just going to release part of it at the beginning.
Then do a bit of the time. So basically it'll be like Destiny.
That little part of the game. Yeah, except the thing is, the difference is the Hitman's not charging for those extra bits. Yes, they just get put on top of the game.
Yeah.
You know, if Destiny had done that,
they're just gone.
Maybe I'd be less bitter about
it. It's like here's
maybe it'd be like, okay, you released a shit game, but now you fixed it.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, and then finally, we need to talk about the Angry Birds movie. Can we please look
bring it up?
Can we please look at the legs of this Angry Bird? So Red, he's probably just called Red, the main one. Now, I'm no Angry Birdsologist. All right, I've played. I studied at Angry Birds U. So I don't remember them looking like that. No, well, see, he is. Oh, it almost matches your top. But he's supposed to be round.
Hug him.
Like, why not just round with little legs? Like, it's got a good silhouette then. Like, it's iconic. He's not red. He no longer looks like the Angry Birds bird. It's just the red and eyebrows, I guess. His red and eyebrows is all you need. I could have played him. I don't. See, because I'm kind of hot and I have eyebrows.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, that didn't go anywhere.
No. Yeah, so Angry Birds movie happening. Yeah. Isn't there an emoticon movie happening?
Really? I did hear there was.
Yeah. I that's all I know. I didn't understand. Do they put legs on the emoticon?
Ooh, that'd be weird.
I don't understand how that works.
Or maybe they'd be like minions.
Yeah, I can probably see that.
Emoticon minions.
Man, those minion things crazy.
Sick of them.
Crazy. So many minions in Vietnam.
Oh, in Malaysia.
Everywhere.
Crazy. I'll do a break into McDonald's to like get minions. Or like you have people with like shopping trolleys full of Happy Meals like to just get the minions. Nuts.
It's crazy.
First against the wall when the revolution comes. That's what they say. Okay, let's move on to some crowdfunding because we love crowdfunding in this show. First up, we have a game very, very close to my heart. It's called First Wonder. Now, did you ever know or play Giant Citizen Kabuto?
I did not.
This game is Giant Citizen Kabuto, made by some of the old team. Nick Broody is heading it. I know the team very well because I ran their fan site for a good 6 years.
This is really Giant Citizen Kabuto.
It really is. They've just changed it. Like it's at the moment they're only showing 2 races, but I'll bet you anything there'll be a some sort of mermaid with sea powers come up in the next release or something. So it's a giant versus 4 little spacemen running around islands that are very destructible.
Very similar to Evolve mechanically.
Yeah, it had a single player campaign that went through. I don't know how well they're going to be able to do that with the current team. But yeah, in fact, the graphic style is very similar to it.
Yeah, it immediately evoked.
Yeah, especially the skyboxes and the way the water's done and things like that. They're basically, as a cult favorite that is there, they've said we want to do it. They're trying to get as much of the old team back together as possible. They had this to play just last week at a public event, and it's playable. So like, I still think hopefully it's still pretty early from what they're showing here. But I mean, if they do just want to aim for Giants, it already looks better than Giants.
Well, I mean,
just by the technology behind it. But yeah, I mean, well, yeah, they're blocking up a volcano with a big boulder. That's the sort of thing you want to do in Giants. It's good to see. The thing, at least, of a couple of extra things to do with it. Yeah,
so I don't know how much you know about Giants, but it's basically an asymmetrical, deathmatch thing.
Yeah, okay. Well, it was a long campaign, third-person game. You started playing these little, basically British spacemen who wanted to drink gin and...
Gin's good.
Yeah, they look like gin a lot. And you played along that, and they encountered this creature, Kabuto. There's this big giant, and there was also this woman named Delphi, who was the Sea Reaper, who could bring down tornadoes and great things from the sky. So very impressive, especially for the day, but still kind of not anyone else has really done that sort of level of thing. Because it was a shooter versus a monster, like beat 'em up, versus some sort of spell casting ranger sort of thing, where some very cool effects, and it meant that. But you play through the single player, and they gave the effect that when you played Kabuto, you were actually someone that had transformed into Kabuto. So it's like, oh, I'm not the monster now. Now I'm the good guy that's a monster. But anyway, it was cool, and I spent a lot of my life looking forward to that game.
And then you got Armed and Dangerous, and it was the best.
I told you did I say on the show the other day about Armed and Dangerous? I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, it was. I saw the where was it? With the Batman shooter. The guy that went in and shot the cinema up, they were showing pictures of his apartment, and he'd cut out like the title page of Armed and Dangerous and put it on. I'm like, that's a game about like British robots. No, it's not serious. That game has a shark gun. You have a gun that shoots a land shark, and then the shark will swim around underneath the ground and eat people.
Really?
It's not for bad people.
It's for Paul, because I think you were the only one who played it.
It was good. Not as good as Giants, though. It was good. So, admittedly, I didn't read most of the pitch. I just gave them some money.
Oh, you just saw, like,
just threw your wallet at the screen?
Just because I've been talking to them behind the scenes a little bit. And it's like, I don't have enough money at the moment to pay you any substantial money, but for the game, okay. I think it was like $20. I should probably look so I can tell people that are watching /listening /feeling through our special Braille service. And it was $25, which is bad. bad choice. Because the game would be worth that, but it's going to be hard to get.
It's hard to sell.
And that's the early bird too.
Like, as much as I like Giants, I don't know how much that brand carries the weight to get a $25 price point on Kickstarter.
I like it.
Yes.
Do you like MDK?
I do like MDK a lot.
Do you like or know MDK?
No.
See, there's 5
What
years.
is MDK?
MDK was the game. It actually meant nothing.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
People said Murder, Death, Kill, but
that was but Demolition Man came out after MDK.
Made that,
and it meant nothing. Later on, people said it meant there were 3 characters. There's Max, who's the main character. There's Dr. Hawkins, and no. Max was the dog. Dr. Hawkins was and Kurt was the main character.
Yeah.
But that was coincidental.
Yeah.
I asked them. They're like, yeah, it means nothing.
So, yeah, MDK was a third-person shooter that came out mid-90s? I think mid-90s. And it had a really quick development cycle. I think it was like 6 months or something.
And originally it was like a stealth sniper game.
And so it was kind of like this mishmash of ideas, but there's a lot of creativity in it, and like this really cool art design in it, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun, that game.
Yeah, it's a good game.
It is a good game.
I had nothing else really to add there. So yeah, First Wonder it's called on Kickstarter. You can check it out if you like Earthworm Jim or MDK or Giants Says Voodoo or Armed and Dangerous. I think they did some full pay playing game that we can pretend.
Hollowed Eye Hounds is asking if any of us played N++.
N++? No, I played N and I played N+. I haven't played N++ because it's fucking expensive for what it is. Yes, it has hundreds of thousands of levels, but I'm only going to play about 100 of them. So it's worth like $25-$30 or something.
Yeah, it's quite high.
Do you know N+ or N+?
I
You don't. It's a very minimalist platformer.
Yeah.
And it was originally a Flash game, and it still looks like a Flash game. And that's not to discredit it, but you can play an identical game online for nothing, or exclusively on PS4 you can pay $30.
Oh, it's on PlayStation.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a hard sell. I will buy it when it is on sale.
I'll play it when it comes out on PlayStation Plus.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would play
Oh, you are the exception that proves the problem.
Yeah, I am the problem. I am the problem.
The problem that proves the rule. Good. Okay. Yeah, goodness. Okay, next Kickstarter. Let's get through these so we can talk about our wonderful Cheapskate's Game Club of the day, maybe. Allison's Road, which we mentioned earlier. This is the game that started being made because people wanted to play PT and they couldn't play PT.
Did you play PT?
I did.
Yeah, how'd you go?
I didn't finish it, and then I googled how to finish it, and I'm like, oh, this is stupid.
Right here, let's fist bump that one.
I was enjoying it until I discovered how to finish it. I'm like, what?
I struggled with it.
Yeah,
a lot.
I had to use Google.
This video for Allison Road, is this the same video that they released before, like the?
I think so. Yeah. This is the prototype.
Well, I watched like a walkthrough video that video I thought was really impressive. So I think as far as capturing what people have liked about PT, I think they've done an amazing job.
See,
so
my problem with it, with this, is I think it looks great.
Yep.
They haven't given me a roadmap to what's going to turn it into a full game. PT was never going to be a full game. PT was a short experience, and that's why they designed it that way. Silent Hills was not going to be like PT.
No.
So turning PT into a full-length game, I want to know what you. It's hard because you don't want to tell people what it's going to be because it's a fucking horror mystery game. But if you don't show me the scope of what it could be, if you just show me the bit that looks like PT, I'm like, well, yeah.
So that's probably all people need. Is it looks like PT.
Well, Mr. Producer just points out there that it's a YouTube game. It's for it's for your people to stream and do everything, which
and
isn't
then get
necessarily for us.
Paid for.
It's very pretty.
It is.
It
pretty.
looks great. They've got
very pretty.
that toned down perfectly for it.
Yeah.
And I do hope that they do have a big plan of making some really interesting things with it. I just don't know what that is. And again, I liked a lot of PT, but I still come down to I do not think it had well-designed gameplay. And looking at this, it still sort of seems to be the same thing of make sure you walk up to the right doorknob at the right time because that's going to trigger the next event. Anything that needs you to be in a position to trigger it that isn't actually a puzzle. It's like, oh no, we just expect that you'll walk here eventually. That's not game design. That's just anyway. Yeah, I didn't walk. I remember early in PT, I had to walk to a doorway, but I wasn't at the right angle.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh damn it, just open the fucking door.
Yeah.
Anyway, still, we're sounding very negative on this. Like, we're negative on it because otherwise it looks fucking really impressive. So that's obvious. The good stuff's obvious.
I think for what they're if this is like PT was very popular, and clearly there's a very strong demand for more of what PT was, and it looks like they're hitting it.
15-poundery dues. That says regular pounds.
Yeah, just regular. Yeah, nothing that Australian.
Nothing special about that if you want to pledge for a copy of the game. Okay, next up. Actually, one that I became really excited in as soon as I realized what it is. And there's no footage for this because this is called Top Secret. And why is there no footage? Because this game's played through your email. This is a game based.
Email game.
This is a game based around the Edward Snowden leaks.
Yep.
You're part of that community. And there's going to be an offline version you can play, but the normal version is played in real time in your browser. So over an amount of time, you're sending emails back and forth with different people in the groups and everything. The story's being played out to you. I love games like this.
I wonder how easy it is to break it. Like if it's like I'm replying to an email.
Yeah.
Like how specific do you need to be with that response for it to actually work?
Yeah, I mean, who knows how they're back
Yeah.
And they had a few examples in there, things like saying, oh, who of these people do you think we should try and like get into their account? And so you say, oh, I think you type back and you put in that address and it'll pass it out. But if you put in all three, maybe it just responds with the, hey, can you clarify who the hell you want?
I think that the risk they run with making it so it's text to enter is that you can enter something silly and it won't respond. Where I think in things like what was the one with the Mars or the other planet where you had the rover thing? Sol something. I know. Yeah. With that one, it was like a similar kind of thing where it's like, all right, here's this site where it's like you're controlling a Mars rover, effectively another planet, but there's like this whole story surrounding it, and it was played over time, and you get emails from things, but the way you interact with it is through the website. So it's like it's very tightly controlled.
I think this has some stuff that's not just the email as well.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, obviously that can be a problem.
Yeah.
It was Extra Solar, wasn't it? Yeah, Extra
Solar. There we go. Yeah.
I just saw it then anyway, so. That was a good game. Yeah, so I'm excited in projects like this. I think they work really well. You can, it just integrates into your day-to-day life. So, doing your normal day and you're also being a secret agent on the side, which is kind of cool. And it's also, if you want to play the game, and this is being part of the real-time experience and everything, that's a £5 pledge. So, it's going to be a couple of weeks worth of entertainment probably. I like it. Yeah. I think they're cool little projects, and you still need someone to be running the back end, and maybe when they get an answer that they don't understand, maybe they just check it by hand because it's email.
There's some poor chump that gets notified of
snap.
We couldn't pass the response.
Okay. Next up, TGL Thanksgiving Life.
This looks cool.
Yeah, I thought this was at first I didn't quite get it.
Yeah.
And the more I'm going to put my overall feeling on this, and actually, people, you guys need to interrupt me more. I'm talking so much, even more this episode. Overall, I don't know if they can do what they're trying to pull off.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It looks too good to be true.
But I love the fucking idea. So basically, you are a god. This is a god game. But you're a god in a pre-made world with pre-made characters, with pre-made AI. And your job is to just fuck with them however you want.
Okay.
So you can be the god that makes everyone the best they are. You can just be the god that tortures people. You can be the god... It really is like an actual god sim. Instead of it's like I'm just gonna mess around with the world. It's like as far as a sandbox and the actual god fantasy and the idea of these people having personalities and you being able to use those, like make people hit on. Here's my favorite thing, straight from the Bible. Someone's in the forest. Let's throw a bear at them.
So basically, it's like Old Testament God.
Yeah, it's Old Testament. You can be any kind of god you want.
Yeah.
A spooky ghost. You get to be a spooky ghost.
So you can see from this video, like we're just getting distracted looking at it now. I think this is wonderful.
This is the best.
It's that sort of the fun toying idea of like a goat simulator, but with being an actual game, and like making the people pissed off.
This is what The Sims 4 should have been. They need to bring in the direct control, the fist of God into The Sims.
Yeah, I thought. As soon as I actually started getting this is amazing.
What is that?
Censored Wang.
This is the best.
Yeah.
You can be good.
But why would you want to be good?
You can just read it. Yeah.
God's making light at the back.
Yes, God just helped rob a bank. It's true. So, I think huge amount of potential. And I kind of think the first game, I'll say first game, they haven't said that ever do ago, but I kind of feel like this one would be a great proof of concept. And if it can like be fun enough to get people playing it, like the next one is when they can get in like the really interesting AI people and writers. Because like you want everyone to have their really flown out backstory and everything, and then you just, you know, you want to be from I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream.
Oh, Am.
You want to be Am. You want to be able to know how to torture someone with the color yellow. So
anyone that's played that
knows how terrible I just said it is.
You said a horrific thing.
I just said a terrible thing. Worse than any of the terrible things I said tonight. Do you know I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream?
don't.
Young people don't get my terrible references.
Oh man, it's a good game. It's
What's it called? Sorry.
I Have No Mouth, but I Must Scream, or and I Must.
I Have No Mouth.
I think it's and I Must Scream.
Yeah.
It's,
now that you questioned it, now I don't know.
It's
I believe,
it's an adventure game from Harlan Ellison, who's a sci-fi writer, based on a short story that he wrote, and it's very good. Like the short story, I really enjoyed. It's kind of about an AI that hates humans, but this AI really hates humans. Like you've got other AI like your GLaDOS and your Shodans, they got nothing on Am. Like Am has destroyed the planet except for 5 people, and has been torturing them.
That sounds
Giving
cool.
them immortality and then been torturing them for eternity.
I like it.
Yes. It's interesting.
And that's what I hope to be.
Yes.
So if you want to back for the standard pack, which includes a Steam release key and a special badge, it's $15.
You know, that I'm going to say that was a very unique idea, and it looks super fun.
Yeah,
I hope they can actually do it though. Like, it looks too good to be true.
Yeah.
Last up, them's fighting herds.
I do love a good pun.
There's a good pun. So this is on Indiegogo. That's right. Sometimes we don't go to Kickstarter. Did you ever want to play a brony fighting game?
I don't, but I know a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Did you want to play a brony fighting game that couldn't get the license, so they just made a bunch of cow similar characters?
Yes.
Because if you like your Skullgirls and stuff like that, just apologies to those not watching, but look at the fucking animation on this.
It's pretty good.
They've got some really good 2D fighting game animation.
If I liked fighting games and I liked ponies, I would be all over this.
But lots of people like ponies, or in this case, cowsies.
That's cowsies.
Heifers.
I like that one.
No, there was still heifer. So basically, yes, they're making a fighting game of that style. So probably if you like Skullgirls and things like that.
I really love the hand-drawn backgrounds.
Yeah,
I don't know if they like. I don't think they're placeholder. Like they look really nice.
They're very similar to like Cartoon Network backgrounds. You know, you think back to like Ren and Stimpy stuff, and like that, where they don't necessarily realize the full background. But yeah, it's really appropriate for the style.
Yeah.
And I think it looks great. They actually have a plan for this sort of like overworld lobby as well, where it's like a little RPG. It looks well within their grasp. I think they're after
4,
yeah, like, you know, close to half. Some people were disgusted by the price. They're like, oh, how can a game cost that much? It's like, because that's a realistic budget. So and we always point out on Indiegogo if it's fixed or flexible funding, and because this is a legitimate game, it's fixed funding. Because remember, if it's flexible funding, 99% of the time it's a scam. Sometimes it's not.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we've got a few examples where it was just straight up totally legit. They were just said, yep, the game's already finished, so you're pre-ordering it, but the more pre-orders we can get, we can add orchestral music or this, or they just have
that's a good way to do
extending
it.
Yeah, so that was, we call them kick finishes.
Yeah.
So.
Or kick extender, maybe, if it's already done.
Kick seafood extender?
Kick what? Seafood extender.
Delicious. Okay, very quickly before we get to the Cheapskate's game club.
Yes.
Let's quickly talk about rinse and repeat. Mr. Producer does not want to talk about rinse and repeat. Child warning?
What? I don't know. What is rinse and repeat?
Oh, do you
I watched the
remember
trailer.
I don't know what this is. All right.
You may remember. It's Robert Yang, isn't it?
It's a Robert Yang game. Yeah. Not safe for work. It's about to go on.
Safe for my work.
All right.
So,
I love Robert Yang. I really need to play this.
So this is probably closer to Hurt Me Plenty, which was his BDSM sort of negotiation and then performance game.
Yes.
So in this, you were in a male shower at like a YMCA style, and this gentleman comes up to you and you get to scrub him down. Says, "Judge, how about you scrub my back, bro?" And
I want to scrub his back.
Why is he wearing sunglasses?
because he always, it's the same character model he uses in almost all the
Really?
games, and he always wears
That's
sunglasses.
amazing.
Robert Yang is a gay developer, and I think that's like, I don't know if it's his ideal man or his joke ideal man. Like either way, it works brilliantly.
Have you played any Robert Yang stuff?
I haven't.
Yeah, I really
There's-
recommend checking out. It's he's actually one of my favorite developers, like designers. Like
He does really interesting things. So
Yeah.
there's one we were saying where basically you're meeting up with a partner and negotiating how hard a session should be. And if both James and I spanked our partner so hard, quite often at the end of his games, there's a cooldown before you can play again. And if you've done really badly, the cooldown, we were weeks. We hit our partner so bad,
Really?
we weren't allowed to play again
Sounds
for weeks.
interesting.
it actually locks you out.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like I ignored the safe word.
Okay.
And it's like no.
Are all his games like not safe for work?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, generally wouldn't.
If you're like jerking off the gay car, probably
Probably not at work.
technically fine. And the succulent, we just sucking on a lollipop.
That one's safe-ish for work.
Yeah. Very interesting things, and I actually don't do very well on this run. So let's turn it off before we get too low. I think Mr. Producer's like, we're ruining his network here. But don't worry, wait till we do the real life reenactment at the end of the year for our goodies. So good. Okay, time for Cheapskate's Game Club. Now, this was recommended to me on a list of free games that will fill your day. And it's called Douse. And it was by DigiPen. And 3 minutes after you've played it and you completed the entire game, you say, why did we pick this for Cheapskate's Game Club?
Who picked this?
Me! I trusted someone's opinion. And
Who told you about this?
The internet.
Okay, can I say that the internet
Because
is wrong?
number one,
What?
number one was the game that preceded Distance. A Nitronic Rush or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is an amazing game.
Yes.
And number two was this. And I was like, well...
Okay, I am genuinely a little angry now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I put on my teacher hat.
Yeah. I was actually wanted your teacher hat on this one.
Because it's a student game.
Yes. And that...
Yeah.
If it wasn't put up to me as like the number 2 best free game on the internet, I would probably be much less harsh on it.
If this came out of like, I don't know, a second year student team, I'd be like, good effort. There's some problems, but you shipped it. So
it's a complete game.
Ish.
It's complete?
Yeah, so it's complete. Okay, so it looks alright. Like visually, it's fine. I think there are some art problems with
scale.
With scale, I'd say that there's some art problems with like background, foreground stuff, but it's generally okay. Yeah. The platforming controls are pretty subpar.
That's an interesting word.
Okay, this is in the context of student platformers I've played.
Oh, you don't use the word shit with students?
Well, platforming's very hard to get right.
It is.
Okay, so I've seen...
And he's cute.
Let's
give him good points.
The
Cute
animation's nice,
character.
and like you rain on stuff. The effect from the raining is nowhere near distinguished enough. It's sort of like, alright, there's a few little dots, but okay, whatever, okay. The thing that really shit me about this is that you've got this mechanic in here, which is you rain on stuff to make stuff happen. The only time you need to use that rain thing is the very first screen and the third screen at the very beginning. They do absolutely nothing with that rainy thing apart from a couple of triggers.
It doesn't even count the collectibles.
No, and there's collectibles in it you get, which as far as I could tell did nothing, unless there's something I'm really missing with this.
Turns out this is like frog fractions and we've just missed the actual game.
Yeah, like if there was something that the frog fractions part that I managed to miss. But it's, like whoever was the designer on this, they need to be slapped. Because it's like, alright, we've got this, I know, I'm probably coming across really harsh, but no, it genuinely just pissed me off watching it. Because what they've done is they've got this, they've made a game around this rain mechanic, but then they didn't do anything with it. It's just like, well, alright, you use it to make a finger at the beginning to jump, which is great, and then you use it to collect these collectibles along the way, which do nothing, and then you use it to trigger the tree growing at the end.
Hey, James,
yeah?
You ready for the surprise twist?
Alright.
And I worked on this! No, she didn't.
Oh,
Right.
that would be really awkward.
It was worth a shot.
Yeah. No, there was a moment I'm like, oh, snap.
Oh,
That would be funny.
No, it's technically great. They got through. They rolled their own engine with it.
It's if someone came to me with this as a pitch to make a full game, I'd be like, okay, there's some interesting ideas here.
No, this is where I wouldn't.
Give me another pass at it.
No, see, I wouldn't even do that. I wouldn't. In fact, if they brought this to me as a pitch, it's like, I want to make a game, I'd be saying, what, so you got a bad platformer? Like, it's not...
Oh...
No,
I'd say come back, show me some stuff with the rain mechanic.
I'm going to say, come back and use that rain mechanic and show me what... Actually, give me some
I didn't say I'd greenlight them. I said I'd give them another pass. I'd be like, let's get another go at this one, guys. I think with a little more work, we can hammer this one out.
They put the effort into making these things grow, and you get these little things above your head, and that's it. Okay, maybe this was a week. And if it was a week and they got this out, cool, very well done. If this was like a final project, that's what, number 2 on this list next to the...
So what you're saying, like, this is like Destiny's original release. And you just want them to do the Taken King for them.
Yes. That's what I want.
That's fair enough.
I like when this ended after the we're about to
we're always at the last grade.
This is the whole playthrough.
And the only reason it took so long was that I'm just like trying to find something else about it.
Yeah.
It's like I must be missing something.
This is the closest it gets to a game.
Yeah.
And
although this looks quite cool.
Yeah, the way it pops out, it's nice.
It reminds me of the trees growing in Sam and Max.
Sam and Max, actually, I get that feeling as well. You know, like this part.
Let's do another. Let's do another. Is Anna Young thing? Did you ever play Sam and Max Hit the Road?
No.
Oh,
look at you! You're younger than us and have a different life experience. Oh, so quirky.
They got this thing in here where that jump was all right. That was okay. They got this thing where the clouds you can rain on. This is like okay.
And they turn grey.
And they turn grey. So I'm like, there's something here with like I can rain on clouds to make them heavy or something. No. It just makes them grey.
Yeah. I couldn't work out any mechanics on it. I don't know what's going on.
That's why it's the design of this which shit me. Like, artistically, it looks alright. Control-wise,
this area especially, I think, looks really nice.
It looks nice.
Cool.
The platforming is okay. Like, there's some decent platforming design, kind of. I didn't get stuck. I managed to get through it. But when you make a game that's about this rain mechanic and do nothing with it, like, well, you've just kind of wasted my time. Too harsh?
I'm sorry, James.
It made me angry.
Did you get to play it at all, Anais? Or
no,
is this your first experience?
No, I looked at it, but I have a Mac, so I couldn't.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
For both things. I say that as James and I have Macs in front of us.
So basically this is pretty close to the end. When Paul gets better at jumping, you'll see.
That's because I'm just trying to work out. I'm trying to work out if the clouds can do something else.
I feel like
what's that?
There might have been.
And then sometimes you go through it's like, can I not go through a cloud and then land on it? It's like, no, it's just the collision detection's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're very, very close to the top now. I think at this point I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Moving on. Nothing of this means anything. I'm still trying to rain on clouds to see if they do anything.
The answer's nope.
Oh,
why not let you rain on them and they get heavier or something, and then they lower? I don't know. Like, just give me something. And here's I think a problem with the background.
Oh yeah, I couldn't see that those clouds were there to jump on.
Yeah, I totally didn't
It's
see
only
that.
after they turned grey that I said, there is a cloud there.
And that was the only use for the rain. Was it made me spot that, and I don't think that was what they were going for. And then
yay! We completed the game, everyone! Rinse and repeat.
And there's a rainbow. And then you play again. And you just see if you can speedrun it without ever actually using the rain thing, and the answer's no, except for 2 times.
No.
Oh, is there actually...
Too harsh? Too harsh?
No.
I don't know. I
didn't play it.
I haven't marked an assignment for a while.
Oh, so you really got the angry Oh,
yeah, so good pick, Paul.
Sorry.
But it was the internet's pick.
At least it was the internet was very wrong with this one.
Okay, so I suggested next week's to you. So is this one on my head as well?
No, this one looks good. I'm happy with it.
Okay.
If this one's bad, I'll take responsibility for it.
So next week we're doing a game called Missing Translation. It's on Steam. Now the thing that stood out to me this game is that when you go to it, it says this game is not available in your language. I'm like, what? But everything's in English. It's like, because it's all about... Like they've almost used like a built-in Steam feature of like telling you that something's not in your language as an advertising thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so it's not in any language?
I don't think it's in any real
language.
So
I'm just wondering if Steam... I don't know if Steam makes you pick at least one.
What they pick.
And so they just like pick like the most obscure language.
It's Latvian.
Some European country with like population of 4. It's like, that's the language.
Yeah.
So good. Anyway, we'll see if that's any good next week.
At the end of next week's show, right?
Yeah. So, before we finish up for the evening, Any unfinished business? No.
Nah, working on my video game.
What's his new name?
New name, yes. So for anyone that's been watching me pimp stuff to social media, I've been working on a game called Cheapskate, but with the Australian, Hipster Whale. No, not Hipster Whale.
I thought it was Hipster Whale.
No,
Crossy
they're
Road
publishing.
Mighty Games.
Mighty Games Group.
Yeah, that's
Mighty
it.
Games Group releasing something called Shooty Skies. So to avoid conflict and the fact they would have spent money on marketing and registering trademarks, it's easier if I change my name.
Why are you so into alliteration?
With Astro Attack.
Yeah.
Because I like the double A's.
I like it.
That's alliteration.
Yes, I understand.
That's exactly what I just said.
What alliteration is.
So basically, you're an alcoholic.
I know it does. Yeah, I do think AA does come up. Picking a name is hard. I'm going to say a couple of months was trying to find a new name for that goddamn game. And the best I hope for when I pick a name is that someone doesn't say they hate it.
I like it.
Yeah, that's great. That's like the best response. The regular response, which I'm willing to accept, is that name. And I think, all right, I can run with that.